Hello, teachers and substitutes. This is a quick tutorial on how to use the Subplan feature in Nearpod. This is made for both teachers and substitutes so that both groups of people understand how this is created and then how it works on the other end. So to start off with, if you have never used Nearpod before as a teacher, subs you don't have accounts, but as a teacher, you'll need to go out to nearpod.com. You will end up on a page that looks similar to this. The first thing that you're going to do is click on the login button. Don't sign up, just click login, even if you've never used Nearpod before. And then you're going to go ahead and click on login with Google. And this is because we already have your account attached, your Google account attached to Nearpod. So this will just log you in. Go ahead and choose your account, and now you will be logged into Nearpod. Now, for the purposes of this, I'm going to go ahead and go over to Canvas because I want us to get used to using Nearpod in Canvas. And so once you open up your Canvas account, in your classroom navigation bar, you will notice a Nearpod, that you can click on. If you don't have this here, go into Settings. Mine's covered up, but go ahead and go into Settings. And once you click on Settings, you're going to go over and you're going to select the items that will be shown on your classroom navigation bar and then drag Nearpod into there. And that way you'll have Nearpod as part of your classroom in Canvas. Okay, so then you're going to go ahead and open this up. Now this is your Nearpod landing page. We aren't going to worry about anything to do with this right now. If you've never used Nearpod before, then you can still use the Subplan feature. If you don't plan on using Nearpod, I still strongly suggest you look at the Subplan feature because it stands alone and it's a really fabulous place to create subplans. So in the navigation bar, this dark blue one on the left-hand side, you are going to see subplans. So as a teacher, you're going to go ahead and click on that subplans, and this is going to open up for you plans that you may have already created. And it also gives you an option to create a new subplan. So a couple of things that you can do here. If you have one you created already, and let me just give you an overview of what this looks like. So you can click on it, you can see what you've put in there, and then you could actually take the content and you could just make a copy of this so that it's available. For you to use this time. But anyway, I'm going to show you what this looks like, and this is really rough. So subplan details, and this is what your sub will receive. They'll receive this copy. And so as they scroll through, they're going to see here's your school information, and you can put lots of classroom information in here. So if you wanted to add, about students, if you want to talk about how you get into Zoom, if you want to add a Zoom meeting link into here, where your substitute has access to that, you can add all of that information into here. Emergency procedures, all of that good stuff goes in here. And then you get to the lesson information. Now on the lesson information, I've added a couple of Nearpod lessons in here, which is really helpful for substitutes because the lessons are already made. They don't have to have access to Canvas. All they do is they use this little lesson code, and then from this lesson code, they can go out into Nearpod and they can present the lesson to kids themselves while the kids are in Nearpod and Canvas. So it makes it really super simple. I'm going to copy this code just because I'm going to show you in a little bit how you would use this. So that's my lesson code for this one. And then I wanted to add another lesson, so you can add as many as you want to. So this is what the subplans look like for the substitute, in just a general idea. Now they can go through and here's the Nearpod lesson. Here's the next Nearpod lesson. And so that's the information that the substitute would get. So that was kind of a quick overview. So now we're going to go ahead and head back, and let me exit. And then I'm going to show you how to create these. So that was what a substitute sees on their end. And the way that you would create these as a teacher, again, I'm going to go back to subplans. I'm going to go ahead and create a new subplan. And what is the name of my plan? I can call this whatever I want to call it. If I'm going to plan, if I know I'm going to be gone on October 8th, I can just put the date in here, however you want to do that. Once you have that set up, now you're in your draft format. And the next thing you can do is you can start adding lessons. So this is, if you use Nearpod, you can click on Add Lessons, and this will bring up all the different lessons that you have in your Nearpod library. So if you want them to present this lesson, you can add just one. If you want them to present a couple of lessons, you can add however many lessons that you would like the substitute to have access to. And then I'm going to go ahead and add those lessons. Now I can type in notes here. So if I want to type in notes about this lesson, here's some main things I want you to cover. Make sure kids know how to do this, yada, yada, yada. You can put that into your little box here. Now, if this is in case that you are a secondary teacher and you want the same lessons to be presented to 2 or 3 of your classes, maybe you teach the same one, you can click how many classes. And what this does is it creates that separate code for each class so that the substitute can go in to the class that's specific to that class period. If you're a Nearpod user, I think you'll understand that. Okay, so I just want one class for now. I'm going to go ahead and click Next, and it brings me up to my next Nearpod lesson. And again, I can type in notes, I can click how many classes I want, and then I'm going to finish. And so now, so far in my lesson plan, I have 2 Nearpod lessons that I've given the substitute to be able to teach from. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back to my Subplan dashboard. And you will notice here's my plan right here. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to click on Send Subplan. Now this is where you can add a lot of details into your plan. So you can type in the dates of your absence in here. The next space down, this gives you a place where you can send this to your building administrator so that they can send a copy to them, or Nearpod will send a copy to your office manager. Might be the way your building does it. So just check and see with your building administrator if they'd rather have this lesson or if they would like to have your office manager have this so that somebody else has access. So you can go ahead and type in their first, last name, type in their email address, and then the next set of instructions down here, this is for your sub. So this is where it's really important. So if you know who your sub is, you can add first, last name. And then all substitutes in the district now have district email addresses. So you can add their district email address here. And then if you have the cell phone number for that substitute, you can put the cell phone number in. Now, this is really handy because Nearpod will send a copy of that subplan lesson to their cell phone number as well if they would like that. So you can double check with the sub if you know who they're going to be. Substitutes, you can add your cell phone number to your contact information in case you want to have your subplans sent to you this way as well as by email. Let me show you what I mean by that. So I have opened up, I sent this to myself as though I were a substitute. So I put myself in here and I received a text message that sent to me a link to those subplans by text. So that's pretty cool. And then let me head back here. So that came because I put my cell phone number in. Now, as a teacher, you can put your number in here as well. And so I did that too. And that's where the second one came through. And this one says, okay, your subplans have been completed for the day. And so it will send a text message to you as the teacher too, if you put your cell phone number in there. So if you want to kind of be kept up to date, you can do that. All right, let's continue on. This is just like any other sub plans where you would put classroom information in, emergency procedures, etc. You can also click on upload a file. Now you need to have this in a JPEG or a PDF. And so if you have information already created, say in a Google document, you can change your Google document into a PDF form. Please reach out to me in case you don't know how to do that, and I can walk you through how to do that. But then you can upload a file here if you already have that information. You are going to need to add your school information. It won't let you continue until you have that in there. And then once you're done, you can go ahead and you can save, and then you can send your subplan. I don't have the information in here, so it's not going to let me send it. But as soon as you put that information in, then you can send it. And like I say, this is, it will send a text message if you send it this way. It will also send this via email so that you have that lesson plan ready to go for you. So that is essentially how you would create the subnotes, and as a substitute, what that kind of looks like on the substitutes end when you do receive those subplans. So hold on just a minute and I'll be right back, and I will show you how to use the join code if you are a substitute. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back and take a peek. Now, in my email, I will have received a link to these subplans. So now I'm opening it up from my email, and here's the same subplans I showed you just a minute ago. So I scroll through, and here's my information. Again, as I scroll down through the information, and you'll have a lot more when a real teacher is making these, and you're going to notice that you have a lesson code. So go ahead and copy that lesson code, because then when you come down here, now it's going to talk to you about, okay, now it's time to present this lesson to the kids. And so you will instruct the students to go ahead and open up this lesson in their Canvas assignment. And at the same time, what you are going to do as a substitute is you're going to go out to join.nearpod.com, and you're going to enter a code. And that's that code that it gives you on your subplan. So you're going to go ahead and enter the code. And now you are going to be on the same, so I'm going to go ahead and join here. And now you're going to be in the same presentation as your students are. So you don't have to be in Canvas. Students can be in Canvas. And now you can walk them through the lesson. All right, students, today we're going to talk about a bad robot. And then you will just instruct them along with you. So every student will see the exact same slide that you see as a substitute. And as you're going along, there's going to be some, let me see here. There will be a couple of slides that are going to be student engagement slides. And so here we go, open-ended question. When you get here, each student has their own copy of this. So each student is able to type their answer in and then go ahead and submit that answer. And then you as a substitute would just help instruct them through it. So that's how the Nearpod lessons work. Again, by just joining the code, and just and those codes will automatically be given to you in the lesson plans. And so that's where that information becomes helpful if you're in a secondary classroom and you're giving the lesson more than once. So maybe classroom number 1 will get this, period number 2 might get a different code. So just so that you're aware of that, if you receive several codes, it's because it goes along with each of the different periods. So that is how you create and how you use subplans in Nearpod. Thanks so much for listening.